So Hare Krishna, welcome everyone. Thank you for very much for being here. We're doing our not just weekly study because we're working on it throughout the day, throughout each day. We're doing our live class of the last verse of the Chaturshloki, the four key verses of the Bhagavad Gita. This is four key verses that summarize the essence of the Bhagavad Gita. And we had Shakti Devi. She was sharing some things that were helpful for her. She was asking about writing it down. And yes, Prabhupada said to write is to remember. And so writing is very, very helpful. If we write our realizations, write down the verse. Just the fact that even writing is shown to be the physical act of writing is more sticky than typing. I tend to always type, but it's shown that if you write something and handwrite something, it will be much more sticky. It will stick in the consciousness and the memory better than typing something out, and it'll be better than not writing. So definitely write. That's good. Write out each word and write and read. But writing is very helpful. You know, and some are saying they have two verses memorized. Some are saying it's very hard. I'm still struggling. Jai Hari sent me a voicemail, and we have you can always send somebody a voicemail. Here's my sample. So today we're going to go over the last verse. But before we go over the last verse, I would like to cover one of the questions is the pronunciation question. So I'm going to open up my keynote. One second. Share. Okay. All right. So first we have this question. How do you pronounce these letters? So most of the time you hear it's gya, gya. But that's more of a colloquial pronunciation or a modern pronunciation. And so what what is the um ancient pronunciation or what is the accurate pronunciations? That's a big question. And so, in the South, they'll say gnya, and in the North, they'll say gya, and in Maharashtra, they'll say dinya. And these aren't even Americans. These are the local Indian pop. This is an alphabet in their own language, and you find such different pronunciation. Um, then you have so what is gya? Gya is let me just see if I can move this or move this over here. It's two different letters. Well, in Sanskrit, a letter is the sound usually with a vowel because you cannot pronounce sounds without a vowel. A vowel is like God, is independent, but the consonants are like souls. They need the vowel to make. So if you want to make the sound B, you need the E. B, if you want to say the letter B, you have to use the E. So vowel is the extension of that voice, and the consonant is like what type of vocal modulation we're putting onto it. So you have the vowels and the consonants. And so in Sanskrit, the whole letter scheme is so scientifically broke down. They actually, we just have A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Now I will never forget Lord Krishna's English alphabet. That's our Hare Krishna rendition. I love that one. But there's no type of structure that is there in the English alphabet. But in Sanskrit, there's all these structures that are very, very interesting. You have first you have what comes right from the kantya, or what they call the guttural or the velar. That's another word they use. So this is a sound that comes from here. Ka, ka, g, ga, ng. Then you have the palatals, the palate, the soft palate. Your tongue is going nga. So cha, cha, ja, ja, nga. Then you have the cerebrals. This is going more, as you see in the here. This is coming up. It's coming up a little higher. I don't know if that picture is a good one. It's coming up a little bit higher in the mouth. The tongue is, this is called retroflex. The tongue is flicking off the top of the palate. Ta, ta, da, da, na. This is this is actually in English, our T is kind of in between these two T's. And therefore if you in India, the T's and the D's are a little bit hard. That's where you get the thick Indian accent. Indian. Because the tongue doesn't know exactly where to go because our alphabet is in the middle of their two these two lines. So they have the retroflex, which is t. It's like flicking off the top of the roof of the mouth, and then t, the dentals uh, is very similar to English, but it's like in English we put our tongue right above our teeth. When we say teeth, we put our tongue right above our teeth. But the accurate Sanskrit is that actually the tongue touches the teeth. So it's teeth, teeth. It's a little softer sound. And then you have the labials. Those are basically pretty much the same in English. Pa, pa, ba, ba, ma. Then you got the semi-vowels. These don't have the strong uh, sp splosives or the pa, ka, ka, cha. It's more like a ya, ra, la, va. It's va. It's not even, it doesn't have that strong kind of push to it. So it's called a semi-vowel. Sibilants, all the hissing sounds and the aspirates, the ha, hakata. And then you got some conjunct consonants, ksha, tra, and gya. So if you look at these two letters that are used, the j and nya, this is from, you see here, that second line called the palatals. It's like you feel it in your teeth and it's kind of, your tongue is kind of going up to the roof of your mouth. Ja, cha, nya, yeah, nya, nya. Ja, cha, ja, ja, nya. So it's going to the roof of the mouth. And so this is a combination of just these two sounds. So does it give a rise to a new sound? That may be a question because you had all these different pronunciations. Let's see if we can go back. In the South India, nga, gya, and in North India, gya, and in Maharashtra, the na. So it seems very, very hard. Now, the very traditional would be it's just the j sound. It's a soft j with the nya. But one point is that is made in many of the literatures is that even in the Vedic literatures, so I was studying this lady. She's a Sanskrit scholar, and she was citing an old book called Paniya Shiksha. These are the books about pronunciation. And so the author, his name is Avashti Bachola Gyanopanha. And so he describes that in the ancient literature, it's described that there's regional differences. So he says in the Pratishaka text of Madinya Shaka, it is said that it's permissible to use the sound ja in the place of ya. So here's an example. In South India, they say yogi, and in North India, they say jogi.